Hey, what's up? This is Mike Zarin coming at you from Chicago. I've been asked a lot about, lately I've been asked a lot about my soloing. And how do you sound more melodic is basically when you're soloing. So this is an E7 chord. A lot of bass players out here will play really melodic, really bluesy, pentatonic-y kind of sound. One way is, what's at school, but one way to get away from that is to start thinking more about the chord and less about the scale. So less scalar and more intervallically. So, for instance, here's my E7 chord, right? If I want to imply, want to play more on top of the chord, right? Instead of playing E pentatonic scale, which is really, kind of really not give me a whole lot of options. A lot of people will revert to pentatonic because it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. Plus an octave. 5 notes, and it's a lot less for people to think about. But if you want to really open up your playing a little more, here's the E7 chord again. I might apply a sharp 11 and play B melodic minor. So B melodic minor is just a minor scale, but I'm raising the 6th and the 7th. And that really gives me a more melodic sound over that chord, right? Another thing to do if you want to imply, it's all up to you. If you want to apply more of like a flat 9 kind of sound, you could do like a diminished run. So again, it's all about more playing like on top of the chord. So again, if you just have, it depends on the context too. Obviously if you're playing, in Chicago Blues Shuffle and E, B melodic minor would probably not be the best choice. You got to play for the style, obviously. But if you're playing more of a jazz setting, jazz fusion, anything kind of setting, and you just have a dominant chord and you want to get a little more flavor out of your solo, apply the sharp 11, go up a 5th, and do B melodic minor. It works for any key. A7, E melodic minor. Let's get away from melodic minor and just talk about playing on top of the chord more. So let's go back to G minor, and instead of this, which is again kind of really just sits really like in on the low register of the chord. If you're looking at piano, you really want to just play on top of the register. So start on the 3rd. Use the 3rd, 5th. You could do anything you want. That's F major. You could really imply any sound you want that's on top of the chord. This is just, so if you're going to practice anything, don't practice, but practice more quarterly. So I don't even know if that's a word, but play more on top of the chord. Over this, the 3rd. Here's G minor we're going by. That sounds much more interesting than playing. If you are going to do that, just make that melodic minor too. It's not a lot more interesting there. Another thing, you know, same thing with major. If we let's do C major. So there's my root. Instead of playing this, which is what most kids are taught these days, as far as learning to solo. Instead of practicing this and incorporating that into your solo, use, you know, I'm just using the root. I'm using the third, the fifth, and the seventh. Here's my third, fifth. Now here I apply that sharp 11 sound. Sharp 11 sounds really nice over major chords. And then here's my seventh, B minor. So I would definitely practice playing more about the chord, right? So one more time, I'm playing C major 7 arpeggio, E minor arpeggio, G major 7 arpeggio, B minor 7 arpeggio, and really just try and have that on the tip of your fingers. Here's another thing to help you out with soloing over major chords. You know, because especially if you just have a major chord to solo over, a lot of people don't know what to do when you just have a major chord. You know, especially when there's not a whole lot of changes going on. You know, people are like, oh, I don't even know what to do. You know, I got so much, you know, available to me. You know, so here's another thing you can do. This is called Triad Pairs. So if I'm in the key of C major, I'm going to start on the fourth and the fifth, and I'm going to use those two triads. So I'm going to use F major and G major. So I'm going to go up on the F major triad and down on the G major triad. So one more time, I'm going up. I'm using the fourth and fifth triads, right? So I'm going up on F major and going down on the G major arpeggio. Now I'm going to go back to my F chord, and I'm going to do the first inversion of that. So first inversion means that I still my triad, F, A, and C, but I'm going to start with my third. Third is in the bass, which is F. So I'm going to have open A, C, F, and then I'm going to come down. I'm going to use the first inversion of G major, but I'm going to go descending. So I'm going to do G, E, B. So I've got root position F major, root position G major, first inversion F major, first inversion G major. Now second inversion. So second inversion means the fifth is in the bass. So if we think about F, A, C, C is going to be in the bass. So we're going to have C, F, A, right? And then come down. Second inversion on G. So we're rotating between F major, G major, F major, G major, the fourth and the fifth triads of C. So let's do it one more time. So we got F major triad going up, root position G major triad going down, first inversion F major triad going up, first inversion G major triad going down, second inversion F major triad going up, second inversion G major triad going down. Now that's it. Now I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna start from the top. You just go up an octave. Already that opens me up to the entire fretboard in C major, just using two triads. That's all it exercises. Two triads, but going all the way up and down the neck. So I hope that helps. And also, since we're talking about more of a melodic minor kind of sound, let's say you have a C minor chord. You could still use those triads, but remember when we think about C minor, C melodic minor, it's a major scale with lower third. So the only notes that change between the C melodic minor and a C major scale is the third. So instead of an E, it's going to be an E flat. So I'm going to keep these same triads, right? So now we're dealing with a C melodic minor scenario. So I'm going to keep these same triads, but when I hit the D, instead of hitting the D, I'm going to hit the E flat. E flat. So it gives me a G augmented sound. G augmented sounds great over the C melodic minor. So let's do that again. So we're going to do F major, try going up, G augmented going down. So I'm using that E flat because that's the only note that changes in C melodic minor compared to C major. So you could really just tell the difference between the two, even though it's just one note that changes. And this whole exercise, again, is just two triads going up and down, and it'll really open up your playing a lot more. So, again, I hope that helps. My name is Mike Zabrin. Thanks a lot.